What is up, ninjas? Your Guitar Ninja here, and in this video we're going to look at the 5 essential techniques that every guitarist should master. Technique number 1, we are going to look at the slide. A slide is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to slide up and down the string. Now there's 3 main types of slide the way I like to look at it. We've got a standard slide. This is where you hear the first note, slide up, and hear the second. Or slide down. Next we have the slide in. This is where we start from a rested point, slide up, and pick when we're already sliding or slide as soon as we pick. So we don't really hear the first note. So it sounds like this slide comes from nowhere and slides into a note. So you can see by going super quick at the beginning, it means we don't know where that note starts and we only hear the landing note. And then last of all, we have a slide out, which is pretty much the reverse. We're going to play a note, slide out from that, and relax the pressure as we slide out, so we don't really know where the last note is. Now I tend to slide out going down in pitch and slide in by going up, but you can do it the other way around. So slides are used pretty much everywhere, but a really common place to hear it among new guitarists is Jimi Hendrix's first note of Voodoo Child. So that is a slide in to start with. Technique number 2, we have the bend. Now this is one of the most important techniques for getting emotion into our music. This will be used by every single blues musician and normally by a lot in pretty much every other genre as well. Just blues tends to be the one where I hear bends done really slowly and they stand out. So a bend is where we play a note and we just push the string, literally bending it upwards or down to raise the pitch. It's going to raise the tension of the string and make it go higher in pitch. And it doesn't matter if you bend up or down, it will always go up in pitch. So the great thing about a bend compared to a slide is that we can bend slowly and really slowly build that tension. In doing that, we get to put loads of emotion into the music without hearing it go do like if we did a slow slide. So the important thing with bends, slides we had a slide in, slide out and a standard slide. Bends we have a half and a whole. We have a few others, but they're the 2 most important ones. A half bend is where we bend to the sound of the next note. Half step or half tone, semitone, higher pitched. That's where it gets its name from. So if I was to take this note and bend it so it made exactly the same sound as this note, then that would give us that semitone, so a half bend. So there you go, there is a half bend. Then a whole bend would be doing the same thing, taking this note, but now we're going to bend it by 2 frets worth. Now this can be easier to use our 3rd finger and use the other fingers behind it to give us extra strength. So it's really worth working on getting the accuracy between your half and whole bends, making sure that you can reach them, because we're just trying to reach the next note of the scale most of the time when we bend. We can do it slowly to build tension, but we still want to land on that note, otherwise your bends are just going to sound out of tune. There are quarter bends and larger than whole bends where we can do smaller amounts or do massive bends, but they're not as commonly used and I wouldn't put those in the essential 5, but I would say your half and whole bend are. Technique number 3, we have the hammer-on. A hammer-on is where we play a note, hit a second note by hammering a finger on to another fret on that same string without needing to pick a second time. So essentially we're getting 2 notes for the picking effort of 1. We can delay that first note, or we can do them really quickly. Most common use that you would have heard this would be the introduction to Red Hot Chili Peppers' Can't Stop. Before it gets into the main riff, it does loads and loads of these quick hammer-ons. Hammer-ons can also be done from an open string to any fret, so I quite like to run up the high E string, just hammering on notes of either the E or A minor scale from an open string. Again, it's good practice to get all your fingers moving. have the pull off. This is basically the reverse of the hammer-on or the brother or sister, whatever you want to see it as. When we play a pull off, we're going to play a note, then pull our finger off of the string, exactly as it sounds, to play another note that was lower pitched. So this could be 2 fingers on the same string. We're going to play a note and then release the highest pitched finger. We can also do this to the open string, just like a hammer-on from an open string. And again, we could use the same frets on that high E string as I did with the hammer-ons. A really common use of the pull-off is during Metallica's Kirk Hammett solos. He uses these a lot where he likes to pull off and then play a note on the second string. Technique number 5 is a percussive mute, also just known as a mute. But there is also a thing on the guitar called a palm mute. This is a really good thing to know, but I'm not going to put this down as an essential because I don't feel it is a beginner technique, and I just wanted to make sure all the essentials fit every level of guitar playing. So a percussive mute, also known as a mute, is where we're going to rest our hand on the strings, and we're not going to apply any pressure, so it mutes them, it deadens the sound. So when we strum, we just get this like percussive scratchy sound. Now this, if it's shown in tab, would be written with X's instead of a number, and it is used a lot in rock and grungy metal. So the most famous place you'll hear this is in a lot of Nirvana songs. So if I play that exact same riff now without any of the mutes, you'll hear how empty it sounds. So there you have the 5 essential tips. Now the percussive mute is used mostly when we're playing rhythm, but the other 4 are used in almost every single guitar solo you ever would have heard. So I hope you ninjas found this video interesting and beneficial. If you did, please give it that thumbs up, and I release guitar lessons all the time, so think about hitting that subscribe and bell notification. If there's anything you think was more essential than the ones I went through, or something that you really feel I should have added in, please leave it in the comments below and I'll make sure that I include it in the next video. If you're a solid subscriber and you love what I do, then the Guitar Ninja t-shirts are available. There is a link in the description below as well to that. And if you want to learn all of the other techniques involved in the guitar, all the advanced techniques and the theory behind how music really works, then please check out the Guitar Ninja Academy at theguitarninja.co.uk. Again, links are in the description. That would be awesome. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in a new video soon. Bye!